Bienvenidos! Welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. As always, it is so great to have you here. I hope you're staying safe and healthy, but most importantly, that you're feeling fabulous at the same time. Anyways, today we have a delicious recipe. We are talking Moorish-Spiced Spanish garbanzo beans with vegetables. This dish hails from the south of Spain, where it was inspired by the Moorish occupation in the Iberian Peninsula, which was between the years 711 through 1492. And let me tell you, this dish has the most extraordinary flavors to it. It's very easy to make, and it comes together in about 30 minutes, folks. This is the kind of dish that when you take that first bite, you are not going to believe how good it is. If this is your first time here, make sure to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get notified when I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork kitchen. To all my returning subscribers, welcome back. So we're going to begin by getting our ingredients ready. I'm going to grab a jar of cooked garbanzo beans. This is the same thing as the canned ones, adding them into a sieve, and then rinsing them under some cold running water. Now the size of this jar is 570 grams, which is about 20 ounces. Then we're going to grab between 4 to 5 fresh tomatoes and finely grate them. We want to end up with about 1 cup of finely grated tomato, which is 225 grams. Now you can substitute this for the same amount of canned tomato sauce or passata. Moving on, I'm going to finely dice half of an onion, roughly mince 4 cloves of garlic, grab a zucchini and cut it into thin rounds. I'm only going to use half of the zucchini for this recipe. Then stack up the rounds of zucchini and roughly chop them. And for the final vegetable to prepare, I'm going to grab half of a red bell pepper, cut it into thin strips, and roughly chop it. And for the final ingredient to prepare, let's make the spice blend. I'm going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves into a mortar. This is a little over half a gram. And using a pestle, pound down on the cloves until you form a powder. Then I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of cumin powder, which is 1.25 grams. Half a teaspoon of ginger powder, which is 0.88 grams. A 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, which is 0.65 grams. 1 teaspoon of dried cilantro, which is 0.60 grams. A 1/4 teaspoon of hot smoked Spanish paprika, which is 0.57 grams. And a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. And I'm going to give this a mix, that way all these spices are evenly mixed together. Now the saffron threads I'm using to make this spice blend are once again from Golden Saffron. Like I always tell you, this is one of the best saffrons out there, super high quality, incredible flavor. Link where you can get some in the description box below. For the next step, let's start cooking our dish. I'm going to grab a large fry pan, heat it with a medium heat, and add in a generous 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is about 35 milliliters. After heating the olive oil for 2 minutes on a medium heat, I'm going to add in the finely diced onion, the roughly chopped zucchini, and the roughly chopped red bell pepper. And start mixing the vegetables around with that olive oil. You don't have to mix this continuously, but do get in there every minute or so. That way all the vegetables evenly saute. After about 5 minutes, and the zucchini and the onion are nice and translucent, and the red bell pepper lightly sauteed, you don't want to brown these veggies too much. I'm going to add in the minced garlic, and continue to mix these ingredients around with that olive oil. We're only going to go for about 30 seconds here. We don't want to overcook that garlic. We just want it to be nice and aromatic. After about 30 seconds, I'm going to add in the spice blend And we'll give this a quick mix. That way that spice blend is coating all the vegetables. Then we'll add in our finely grated tomato, which once again is 1 cup or 225 grams. Our green garbanzo beans. And season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give this a gentle mix. That way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. And once again, like I always tell you when you're working with garbanzo beans, remember to be gentle, otherwise you can easily break them apart. Once everything's well mixed, I'm going to add in a generous half cup of vegetable broth, which is 125 milliliters. You can also use water here. And we'll give this one final mix and then simmer it on a medium heat for about 10 minutes. This is enough time for all these flavors to come together and for that broth to really incorporate into the vegetables. After about 10 minutes, you can see the majority of that broth has been incorporated into the veggies, but there's still some left in the pan. You don't want to fully bring it down. This dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat, transfer some of the mixture into a serving dish, and we'll sprinkle it with some freshly chopped parsley. Our Moorish-Spiced Spanish garbanzo beans with vegetables is done. You saw this, so easy to put together. It's got a beautiful presentation, and the aromas coming out of it with that spice blend are mind-blowing good. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. For those of you that follow Spain on a Fork, you know I'm a huge fan of garbanzo beans, but this dish right here looks like it might be the best one we've made yet. Here we go. This is not fair. Have some. First things first, the garbanzo beans just melt in your mouth, and then that spice blend blended in with those vegetables, it truly is an explosion of so many great flavors. You saw this, a classic Spanish garbanzo bean stew from the south of Spain. Try it at home and find out how delicious it really is. Really quick before I go, a shout out to one of my patrons, Dr. Michael Barbitz. Once again, Dr. Michael, thank you so much for being a patron of Spain on a Fork. It's thanks to you and the rest of my patrons why Spain on a Fork continues to move forward. If you're not a patron, consider becoming one. It really helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.